All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to our elders and the apostles, a great millstone who rule and teach well, and peace, love, salutations to those that are doing this work in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Nathaniel from the Dream Edge Camp Atlanta, coming back at you through the Spirit with another lesson. I pray and hope this lesson is edifying. And I got a video here with Trump. You know, he's boasting on how powerful the U.S. military is. He's boasting on, you know, basically he's alluding to how, you know, nobody can take them out. Okay, nobody can take this place out. Okay, but that's just not true. So I'm gonna start off with a quick precept in the book of Obadiah, because you have to understand the pride of these people, the pride of the people in power. They think because they have this sword, the great sword that was given unto them, as stated in Genesis, the 27th chapter, and Revelations, the 6th chapter. Okay, you know, the great sword that was given unto him, peace, to take peace away from the earth, starting with Alexander the Great, or the Greek. Okay, so he thinks, this devil, because he's been in power, he's going to stay in power. Because, you know, and I'm not trying to downplay this man's military, because Esau has, you know, a very powerful military. But what he don't understand is that this movie that we're in, the director, the executive producer, and the director is Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Okay, and you're scripted to be destroyed. You're scripted to go down. All right. So what we're seeing is a play out of Obadiah 1 and 1 and 3. All right, but I'm gonna start at verse 2. Okay. Actually, we're gonna start at verse 1. All right. This is Obadiah 1 and 3. It says, "The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord. An ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise, and let us rise up against her in battle." And what are we seeing? Trump is making declarations against Greenland. And you have countries like Spain, France, and different NATO nations that are now creating an alliance to stop Trump from going into Greenland. Okay, because ultimately Greenland is, you know, as part of Denmark, which is a NATO nation. Okay. So for Trump to go into this nation is a direct violation of Article 4 of the NATO treaty, which basically states that if one country attacks a NATO nation, they attack all the NATO nations. So how be it that United States of America is one of the established nations, one of the establishing nations of the NATO, but they're going to attack one of their own. You see what I'm saying? So all of the other nations are rising up against Babylon in battle. This is verse 2. It says, "Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised." And America is hated. Trump has effectively made everyone hate America. The countries they've already hated America before, but now they really hate America, and they're doing it openly. You know, countries are now boasting that they would rather die than serve under the Donald Trump regime, to be a part of America. Okay, so this place, and then on top of that, you know, the sperm count. I mean, this scripture right here is multifold. So the sperm count of the so-called white man is weak. He can't reproduce like Jake can, and on top of that, his stature and his status across the whole entire earth is also becoming small. So not only has Esau become small in number, he has become small in status as well. Okay, and he's despised by all of the other nations. All right, this is why they're having such a desperate attempt to make America Mawa, make America white again. Okay, this is verse 3, and this is the point. It says, "The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high. That shall say in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" And that's exactly what Donald Trump is spewing out in this video right here. Okay, which shows you that these prophecies and this script, this book is tried and true, and these prophecies are going to come to pass. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video.
This country is very powerful. It's far more powerful than people understand. We have weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is, and it is the most powerful weapons in the world that we have. More powerful than anybody, not even close.
So the soldier explains it kind of like a shockwave that went out, and immediately they all fell, blood out of the ear, nose, mouth. Once that happened, they were useless, is what he says. There was nothing we could do. We could not even think straight anymore. He blames the Americans for not fighting fair because he says they were shooting out of the helicopters. And before they even hit the ground, most of those people were incapacitated and could no longer fight back. They were just watching it all go down and couldn't do anything about it.
But the United States proved once again that we have the most powerful, most lethal, most sophisticated, and most fearsome. It's a fearsome military on planet Earth, and it's not even close. You know, I've been saying it for a long time. Nobody can take us. Nobody. We don't want to have it. We don't have a discussion, but you read all and you see everything else. Nobody could have done that. Nobody has our weapons. Nobody has the quality of our weapons.
You see the pride of this devil? Do you see his pride? So
and we're very.
So going back here, verse 3 again, it says, "The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high. That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" Did you hear this devil, what he's saying? He's saying that that no one can compete with America, which is absolutely not true. Because and he's being lifted up on purpose, so his fall will be great. All right. Verse 4 says, "Though thou exalt thyself as an eagle," nobody can take us. We're the strongest. We're the toughest. We fly the highest, right? "And though thou set thy nest among the stars," we got space stations and satellites and all of this stuff. You know, we can do all this. "Thence I will bring thee down, saith the Lord." You see that? So the Lord is going to bring you down, man. The Lord is going to bring you down to the ground. Okay. You know, you see the arrogance and of these devils and how they speak, you know, and because they think they have been in power, they're going to stay in power. This is the mindset of these damn devils. They think just because they have control of the financial system, they have control over the military, that that they're going to stay in control, that they're going to stay in power. But that's just not so. All right. So I'm gonna play a little bit. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this video.
Powerful. This country is very powerful. It's far more powerful than people understand. We have weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is, and it is the most powerful weapons in the world that we have. More powerful than anybody, not even close.
So the
Let me scroll up a little bit because I think it reset the feed. If they let me. But if not, you know, we'll just move on. Don't seem like they want to play.
Invaded Caracas and captured Nicolas Maduro. Apparently, the U.S. used a powerful mystery weapon that brought Venezuelan soldiers to their knees during the Maduro raid. Now, this is according to a witness. Again, I'm assuming that this is true because the White House press secretary basically retweeted it. But this soldier, who was very afraid, right?
All right, so I just thought about a precept. I'm actually going to bring out Revelation 6. Revelation, the 6th chapter. All right. Because there's just so much talk about his weaponry. Oh, his weaponry is so great. He got all this great weaponry and all this good stuff. All right. This is Revelation 6 and 6, and it says, "And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts, and a beast say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and a measure of barley." That's not it. That's not what I want. It's up a little bit, I believe. All right, yeah, that's 4. Revelation 6 and 4, and it says, "And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword." Now, a sword is just a destroying weapon. It's just a weapon that is designed to kill and destroy. That's what a sword is. Anything can become a sword. A car can become a sword. Your hand can become a sword. If you end up using it to kill or destroy, that can be considered a sword. Now this says a great sword, which goes into his weaponry, his nuclear technology, his different types of weaponry that he can use, the sonic weapon that they're allegedly talking about. These are the things that, that the Lord gave this demon access to, okay? Gave him access to this type of technology so he can do this type of damage. All right. So really it's the Heavenly Father that gave you this technology in the first place. And it's the Heavenly Father that's about to remove you from your position. All right. So we're going to go to the book of Isaiah 12. I think it might be 14 and 12. Yeah, here it is. Let's just start up a little bit. Not that far up. Let's start at verse 9. It says, hell from beneath is removed from thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead for thee, even the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. And they shall say, and they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou become as weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? And see, that doesn't mean that America has become weak. That means that the other nations have become strong. And I'm gonna get that real quick. All right, so we're gonna come back to that, but we're gonna go to Joel 3 and 10 real quick. And it says, verse 9, it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hook into spears. Let the weak say that I am strong. So the Lord, had the other nations become stronger. Okay? That's all that was. So going back to the book of Isaiah 14. And it says, verse 11, it says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, and the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. And the worms are symbolic of death. You got worms under you and worms on top of you. That means it is death. Now let's go into this word pomp. Okay? This has been coming out a lot lately, because we're seeing the dismantling of this man's kingdom right before our eyes. All right? So it's Gaon.
Strong's H 1347. Gaon.
And it means exaltation, exaltation, okay, just be exalted, majesty, pride, majesty, exaltation, excellence, okay? So the Lord is saying here that he's about to bring this excellence and this pride down to the ground, okay? And this is where y'all dumbass Christians, y'all continue to go off. Verse 12, it says, how art thou fallen, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How are they cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? How like Elder Manasseh Zakba went to a video earlier, said how did Satan weaken the nations if he's not a physical person? He is Satan didn't do that. Lucifer did that. And who is Lucifer? Lucifer is nothing more than the illuminated ones on the left-hand side. Those will be your elite, the Illuminati, the Bilderberg Group, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, things of that nature. Those are the ones that are your 33 and the third Freemasons. Those are the ones in the top echelon, the ones that are really making all of the decisions. Okay. And it says, so that's who Lucifer is. Yahweh Shai is a Lucifer on the right-hand side because he's the bearer of light. All right. And if you don't believe me, well, let's just go into the definition real quick. Let's go into the interlinear. And let's go and look up this word Lucifer, okay? Because Christians always teach that Lucifer means, the devil. It doesn't. Lucifer.
Strong's H 1966. Haleo. Haleo.
And it says, light bearer, shining one, morning star, Lucifer. Light bearer. Okay, what did Yahweh Shai say? He said that I am the morning and evening star. Okay, he's the shining one on the right hand side. So when you hear Lucifer, it's not talking about a god. It's not talking about a creature with horns and tails and it's red. Well, you can say it's red because it's talking about the goddamn devil here on earth. Okay, so you get the point. Shining one, morning star, Lucifer. You get the point. Okay, so let's go back to the finish this up. And it says, can't take it no more. It says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend to heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars, stars of Yahweh, which those are the Israelites, and that's what he's trying to do on this side. All right, is chip everybody so he can have absolute total control. All right, it says, I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, that's North America. Okay, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, and I will be like the Most High. All right, that's what his mind is. That's why he's coming out with his AI. That's why he's coming out with his cloud system, because he wants to store people's memories into a cloud. That's why he's coming out with the brain Neuralink and all this good stuff, because he wants to play God. All right, he wants absolute control over everything. All right, and it says, verse 15, it says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell. And what is hell? Hell is a condition. Okay, hell is the situation where you're just in the worst possible situation, and that's what we're in right now as Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We're in the worst situation. Okay. All right, slack it. So we're in the worst situation. Thank you. As Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, we're at the bottom. All right, who getting threw out? Who getting put in jail? Who getting shot up on the streets? Now, of course, Deuteronomy 30:7 says that I will put all these curses on thine enemies and those who hate thee, right, and persecute thee. However, we still got curses on us, but we are watching the curses slowly get transferred to the other nations. Okay, and it says, the pit is North America. Europe, because Europe has no resources. All right, and you can go to the book of Revelation and look at the bottomless pit. All right, and it says, they that see, now you don't see Satan, you don't see Lucifer, right? But this says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, and saying, is this the man that made the earth tremble and did shake nations, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, and had that opened not the houses of his prisoners? Okay, and who continuously keep the prisoners in the prison houses and won't let them go for shit? Come up with different monetized, putting people in jail. Monetize that shit. You see what I'm saying? That's what this so-called white man has done. He's monetized. How you learn how to make a profit from putting people in prison? I make money about it. I make contracts with the state, and the state gonna pay me for all of these beds, and we gonna put all these people in these beds, and we gonna lobby to pass bullshit laws to lock people up, especially Jake, mostly Jake. Okay, but the Lord said He gonna bring you down to the ground. He gonna destroy your pomp, and He gonna destroy you ultimately. Okay, the hammer of the earth is gonna be broken, and as a matter of fact, in America is going to be a desolate wilderness. I'm going to grab that real quick. All right, so this is going to be Revelation 18 and 17. And it says, let's go up a little bit. Yeah, let's go up to verse 9. double, yes. Yeah, let's go to verse 6. Verse 5. Verse 5, it says, "For her sins have reached unto the heavens, and Yahweh will remember her iniquities," talking about Babylon. "Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works," which is a lot of evil works. Okay, so this is why this devil is going to get a lot of evil coming to him. Okay, "And the cup which thou hast filled to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she hath said in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow." And ain't that what we just seen with Trump? How he just sat there and said, basically, we got the most powerful military in the world. No other military could have did this. Basically alluding to nobody can take us out. All right. Verse 8, it says, "Therefore her plague shall come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord thy power, or Yahweh thy power, who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth, who had committed fornications, have lived deliciously with her, shall bewail her and lament. For when they shall see the smoke of her burning," and that's going to be after those thermonuclear missiles drop, "standing afar off, for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come." So this whole place, as much shit as Trump is talking, is going to get taken out in 1 hour. Okay? And it says, "And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn, for no man buyeth her merchandise anymore. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and twined wood and all manner vessels of ivory and manner vessels of most precious wood and of brass and of iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointment and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beast and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and the souls of men." Okay. And I'm going to skip down a little bit. All right. Right here. And it says, verse 17, it says, "For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all company ships and sailors, and as many trade by sea stood afar off." And we're seeing the beginning of that right now with the trade wars. And it says, "And when they cried, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads, and cried, and weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, which made all that had ships at the sea by reason of her coastline, for in 1 hour she is made desolate." Okay. So verse 20, and I'm going to just finish up with that. It says, "Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for Yahweh hath avenged you on her." Okay. So this is what's about to happen to Babylon the Great. Okay. And all that shit talking that Trump is saying, hey man, the Lord about to show you, bro. First the nation's gonna tie you, then the Lord gonna finish you all. So with that, I'm gonna end this lesson by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kodash. Till the next time, I say Shalom.